So, hey everybody, I'm back. If I didn't say it before, I'm gonna say happy Wednesday. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna keep y'all too long tonight because I had a rough night and I've been having to do some things today to uplift people's spirits and everything. So I'm not gonna keep y'all too long tonight. I'm just gonna leave y'all with this after I get through with this video. But I do want to say this. I made a topic that I've never done, and the name of this topic is rebuilding your life after being locked up in prison. Now, this is something that I can really relate to, and this is something that I can really tell y'all about. Well, I say this: rebuilding your life after being locked up in prison after 3 years. You don't do the whole three, you do 2 years flat. And my crime was very dramatic. I had I had no funds. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. I had no funds while I was down there. I had no help. You know what I'm saying? So I kept getting in trouble. What I did do, I did date a man down there. I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I always want to be real with my supporters. And I dated a man down there just so I can survive. But I did have some family members send me money, you know. Uh when I got out in 2008, I want to skip forward. When I got out in 2008, I had to go to a halfway house because I couldn't go stay with my sister. Because I couldn't go stay with my sister due to the fact that if anybody know anything about parole, you have to be have a phone. And so I had to have a monitor on my leg. So my parole officer and them wasn't having it. So they sent me to the halfway house. So I was in a halfway house. I was gay, scared. Yeah, I was scared because in the halfway house you surrounded by some roughneck men, and I didn't know what they would think of me or anything. Uh, but a scene they thought I was cool, and I didn't have to go out. The good thing was I didn't have to go out to work because I was HIV positive, and then I had seizures. So they knew all of that, but I had to get my stuff together. So when the first day out, they gave me time to get back to the halfway house. So at the halfway house, I started trying to get myself together, get my checks back, and everything. So to make a long story short, when I went to go see my parole officer for the first time, because the HIV meds that I was taking, this persistently pill had marijuana in it. So he thought that I had been smoking marijuana. So he argued me up and down, and I said, "No, I have not been smoking marijuana." I said, "I'm not trying to go." I said, this doesn't even make any sense to me." I said, "Why would I risk me just getting out and I haven't even been out?" And this is true, y'all. I haven't even been out a good 4 or 5 days. I only been out about 2 days. My family came, they bought me some clothes and everything. But to make a long story short, he swore up and down. So when the first day I went in there, I went back in there because they peed me. And that's when they said that they found out that my urine was dirty. So they Googled it. And to come to find out, they seen that it did have marijuana in it. And they said they apologized. So y'all, let me tell y'all what I did before I go any further. I called my doctor and told her, look, I need to get taken off this drug. I'm on parole and I can't be every time you turn around, they peeing me and marijuana coming up in my drug. And she said, okay, we'll change your medicine. So that's what she did. So the next following thing being I had to go. I never forget who my parole officer was, but I can't disclose that, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh, so when I went back in there the third or fourth time, uh, they told me I had to go to some kind of classes. So I went to my classes and everything, and I walked a straight line. I walked a straight line. Um, I walked this straight line so good, y'all, to the fact that I was been getting ready to get off of parole in August. So I had got a new parole officer, and he let me on parole uh early. And because one thing I did, I kept my visitations. I did what I was supposed to do. I paid my fees. Everything that I was supposed to do on parole, I done it. It wasn't nothing that I didn't do. I end up getting Project Reconnect and I end up finding an apartment. So I end up moving into an apartment. So when I did that, I think that was good. So of course, that's when I met my ex. And of course, that's my ex friend moved in with me. So what she did was, y'all, she claimed she's the one who helped me got in the apartment. But I had already knew the lady from before I went to prison. But she sit there and said that the rent lady asked her, "Was I a good tenant? Did I pay my rent?" And blah blah blah. This, which the lady already knew I paid my rent. The lady already knew I got a check every month. The lady already knew this because y'all, I tell y'all everything that I was doing. I wasn't trying to go back. I wasn't trying to go back to prison. I ain't been in no trouble since I went to prison in 2004, and it's 2022. Um, if I recall, I had got my Social Security check back, but I didn't get my SSI check back. And so that's what I was working on. So I fought hard for maybe a year or two, 3 years. I was just like, oh, I wish these people gone and give me my money. Oh, these people, blah, blah, blah. Because I had really went through the wrangler because if anybody knows Social Security, you don't supposed to be getting into no trouble while you receiving benefits. And I stayed in trouble. I stayed in trouble to fact when I went into the office, they told me, "Let me tell you this, Mr. Rollard." And I said, "Yes, ma'am. You got one more time, and this is it." And I had told her, "Well, you don't have to worry about that no more because I learned my lesson." Because I think by when I got out in 2008, um, hold on, y'all. So basically, when I got out in 2008, January of 2008. Uh, I was 34 years old. I had to add up y'all to make sure. So when I had told that social security lady, hey baby, that's it. This is it. I didn't tell her, hey baby, I'm just talking. But I told her, that's it. I learned my lesson. Because all the way up until I'm gonna say from 16 to all about up in my 30s, I stayed in trouble. I stayed doing boosting. I stayed doing whatever. I mean hustling. That was just my thing. That was just what I knew. I wanted fast money. And once I got the fast money, I couldn't stop. I kept getting greedy. So I learned my lesson. And once I had learned my lesson, I was good to go. Because while I was locked up in prison, I had already got my GED. But I had many fights when I was in prison. And that's one of the reasons why I said I didn't want to go back. I wanted to just be able to live a righteous life. And that's what I did. Ever since I've been out in 2008, I've been out of trouble. Honest to God, y'all, I ain't been doing nothing but living the right way. But that's all I got to say to y'all. I'll see y'all later.